All right, young scholars. Today we are going to go through the surveys tutorial, which is pretty quick to go through. However, I wanted to make a point about the first homework. So because there were some individuals who added the course late, um, I didn't start grading them until yesterday. Um,
You
so
guys
some of
not
them were
drinking
not as good as I
alcohol.
had hoped. Um, the motorcyclist
Don't
spreadsheet
do it. It's
class,
too much stuff around.
the motorcycle payment stuff we did in class on Monday was classwork. Yes. This motorcycle payment we did in class on Monday. Today we're doing the survey tutorial in class today. So if you were not in class on Monday, you can either watch the motorcycle payment tutorial to go through that or the entire class lecture to go through that. So with respect to the homework one that was due on Sunday, the stock market one, so the two big issues were every one of these assignments you need to submit as an Excel file, whether that be the old school .xls or the newer version, the .xlxs version. And I'll show you that momentarily. Any other submission, PDF, whatever, you're going to receive a 0 for. That is because, and this is very important for the first half of the semester, I need to see that you know how to do the formulas, because on the midterm, that's all it is. Formulas. You're going to have to show that you understand how to do the formulas. And more importantly, you're going to refer back to all of these, in-class exercises and homeworks with the formulas in them as your quote unquote notes that you're going to use as your open notes while you're taking the exam. So some of you, got no credit because you submitted a PDF, or you got no credit because you submitted a file without formulas in it. Otherwise, you might have gotten a few points off here and there because, you know, there was one instance where somebody, messed up a formula, so they lost 2 points. You might have kind of just made up numbers for your stock prices instead of picking up, the numbers that they probably would have been for your 16th birthday. Like for Amazon, somebody put like $3. Like there's no way the stock price for Amazon was $3 at any point within the last 20 years. So you might have lost some points there. So today, like I said, very easy tutorial we're going to go through with surveys, and then the homework associated with it is very, very, very simple compared to it, which is a restaurant survey tutorial. So go ahead and download this surveys.xls X file. You could either click on it and click this down arrow to download, or you can click the three buttons and download original file. which will open a file that looks like this. Surveys. You might have a little thing here that says enable content. Go ahead and click on that. So you have 3 burger joints here: White Castle, Wendy's, McDonald's listed. And what we're going to do, and you'll have a similar assignment for the homework, is we're going to basically utilize this data provided by individuals that have attended these burger joints to produce survey results. So just like on the homework, we're going to count food as 60% of our overall survey grade. Service, was the cashier nice to us, as 30%. Atmosphere, was the music nice? Was it clean? As 10%. So the first thing we need to do is get an average for all of these. So you could do that 2 different ways. So in cell B15, for the food column for White Castle, you could do equals sum, open parentheses, highlight the entire range, close parentheses, divide by 10.
Oh, sir.
However, there is a much easier way to do that. So if you wanted to average something, you could just do equals average, open parentheses, and then highlight your entire range, and then close the parentheses. And then once you hit enter, you have
The hell? Who the hell is like going ham on
a specific
I'm
value.
like, bro, mute yourselves, bro. I make conversation.
So on Monday, I showed you guys how to autofill up and down vertically. You can also do the same thing horizontally across. So you click back into that cell, the white plus, you see in the bottom corner that giant green box. As you scroll to that, the white plus turns to a black plus, and we pull across. And that's auto-filling horizontally. However, you'll notice that some of the boxes give a divide by 0 error. Those ones we just click in and delete, because we don't need any numbers there. We just want the averages for where we have survey data. So again, we click into this cell, white plus turns to black plus, autofill across, and delete wherever you have divide by 0 error, because we only need where we have survey data. So like I said, just on the homework you're going to have, With the restaurant file, you're asked to compute the overall survey value by having food serve as 60% of the value, service serving as 30% of the value, and atmosphere serving as 10% of the value. So in order to do that, first for White Castle in cell C16 here, I'm going to do equals, open parenthesis. I'm going to take that value from B15 representing the food average, and I'm going to multiply it by 0.6, which represents 60% as a number, and then close parentheses. Plus, open parenthesis. Now I select service, and then I multiply that by 0.3, which represents 30% as a number. Then addition again, open parenthesis. Now I take our atmosphere multiplied by, well, we have 60% and 30%. All we
So you
have
got all
left
three. Okay.
is our 10%, so 0.1. And now when we hit enter, we get 6.31. And you'll notice that whole big formula here shows up in our formula bar. And you could do the same exact thing again, auto-filling across by clicking in the cell. The white plus turns to the black plus, pulling across. However, the only other cells you need to have a number in are H16, right below the Wendy's here, and M16, right below the McDonald's. So go ahead and delete all of the other ones so that it looks like so. 6.31, 6.04, and 7.14. So that each one of them is just the average or the computation of the three above it with the 60%, 30%, and 10%. So now we're going to determine whether or not we actually want to go to these burger joints. So just like on the homework that you guys are going to have to do for this weekend, you're going to be asked to calculate based on a grade of 7 or higher if you want to go to this place or not. So in class on Monday, I showed you if statements. So an if is a logical test on one condition. Are you hungry? Yes or no. That's one condition. If you're testing more than one condition, you're going to use what is called an ifs. It's just if with an S added to it. You know, if there's more than one, it's plural. So click in a cell C17 and then click the formulas tab. And here where it says logical with the question mark, click there for the drop down and select ifs, IFS. So for this example, we're only going to use two conditions. With an if statement, you could have any number of conditions more than one. So first, we're going to test if C16, our calculation of the survey data, is greater than 7. If it's greater than 7, we're going to go. So we put value if true 1, quotations, go. For our second test, we're going to select C16 again, this time less than 7. Our value if true there, do not go. Close quote. You can simply write don't go, that's up to you. So when you click OK, what result should you get? Do not go. 6.31 is less than 7. So it should be do not go. And the entire formula is right here in the formula bar highlighted here. Equals ifs, open parentheses, C16 greater than 7, then go. Otherwise, if C16 less than 7, do not. And again, you can click back into that cell and autofill across. But only keep the 3 that you need. The one under White Castle, the one under Wendy's, and the one under McDonald's. And the only one that should be a go is McDonald's, because that's the only one that's greater than 7. And the reason these are not absolute cell references is because notice we need those numbers to change. So here it was C16. Over here it's M16. Over here it's going to be, what is that? H16. So we need each of those to change. So it's just a regular cell reference, not an absolute cell reference. So the next thing you're going to be asked on the homework is to determine whether or not the restaurant is superior. So the conditions you're given to determine whether or not the restaurant is superior is whether each of the food, service, and atmosphere are all 7s or higher. So we're going to use what is called a nested function. That's a function inside of another function. So we're going to do equals if, and then we're going to put an and function inside of it, because we have to check all of these, peanut butter and jelly. If you're just checking one or the other, you would use or, turkey or roast beef, for example. So the first thing we're going to check is B15. So we select B15, then we do greater than sign, equal sign, 7. Then a comma, then we select C15 for our service. And the same thing, greater than, equals, 7, comma. Then we select service. Same thing again, greater than, equals, 7. So now we've completed our AND function. Then we need a comma, because now we still have to complete our if function. So we need a true value. If all 3 of those conditions are true for the AND, our true value is that the restaurant is superior. So we do comma, and then the word superior in quotes. Then we do another comma, and if it's false, we put not superior in quotes. And then we close parentheses to close out our if statement. So obviously the White Castle is going to be not superior because all of these scores are less than 7. Same thing with the Wendy's. The only one that's going to be superior is the McDonald's, as the 7.2 is higher than 7. The 7 is equal to 7, which is why we have the greater than or equals to 7. And the 7.2 is also greater than or equal to 7. So when you hit enter, not superior. You click back in, autofill across, get rid of all the ones you do not need. So this way you only have underneath McDonald's, Wendy's, and White Castle. Not superior, not superior, and superior for the last one. So again, when you're doing the homework, all of these formulas that we've gone through, the ifs, nested function if and, the calculation here of the survey, 60%, 30%, 10%, the average function, all of them should be included for you guys to get the full credit. So now, for this weekend's homework, Excel homework 2. Using the attached restaurant.xlsx file, complete the following. Build a spreadsheet that will allow you to evaluate whether a restaurant is worth going to. Each person, the 10 people provided data, just like I just showed you. You're going to calculate go or not go based on what they provided, the weights, as we just went through, food 60%, service 30%, atmosphere 10%. If it's 7 or above, go. If it's below 7, don't go. You're going to average food, service, atmosphere, just like we just did. You're going to have go or do not go, depending on if that weighted average, the 60%, 30%, 10% we just did is above 7 or not.
Hello, where's
You don't have to worry about absolute cell references or conditional formatting. We're going to do more than enough stuff with the absolute cell references. Don't worry about that. Also, don't worry about not using an and function. Since we used the if and, that's perfectly fine. It's a nested function. And the last thing, what we just did, calculate the superior. If everything is 7 or above, it's superior. Otherwise, it's not superior. So I'm going to show you how simple doing tonight's homework is. You'll see here restaurant.xlsx. Just click the 3 buttons here, download original file. You're going to open this file here that says restaurant.
Yeah.
You're going to have Joe's Pizza, Herb's Deli, Hollis's Restaurant here. And it will look like this. All of the survey data is provided. You don't need to put anything in here. Don't worry about changing any of the names. But I'm going to show you exactly how simple this homework assignment is. You're going to go into this surveys assignment we just did, this exercise we just did in class, the surveys with the White Castle, Wendy's, and McDonald's. You're going to highlight the range starting A14 and go through to N18. So all of this is highlighted now. You're going to right click, select copy, or you could select the buttons Control C on your keyboard as well to copy. Then you're going to go into that restaurant file you downloaded for the homework. You're going to select A14, through N18, and you're either going to right click and select paste, or Control V. And you'll notice it copied all of those formulas. It copied the formatting and everything. And you literally just did the homework. Then you would just do File, Save As, and save whatever your name is, save it to your computer, upload it onto Blackboard. Make sure you save it as either Excel workbook, .xlsx, like I said, or the older version, .xls, before you submit. Now, even if you're using, I think, Google Sheets, it should have somewhere over here on the side, File, Save As. That's the type you want to save it as, .xlsx, before you submit. And if I went a little too quick with that, with the surveys in class exercise, there's already the recording here, the survey tutorial to watch back through, to go through that if you so choose. And as always, I'll pop the recording of class right below that, just like I did for Monday's class. And again, the motorcycles from Monday is just an in-class exercise. Make sure you go ahead and do it, save it. It'll help you, it'll be part of your notes for the midterm as well. Next week on Monday, we're going to do a make-buy analysis with muffins and VLOOKUP. The make-buy analysis with muffins on Monday is going to help you do the Excel homework 3 with the brownies. So we might have a longer class on Monday next week. That's perfectly fine. Okay, one little more thing before I open it up for questions. So, the help desk claims that if you go to office.com and try to log in with your Bloomfield email and password, that you should be able to download Microsoft Office with Excel. However, some people in the other class were still having issues. So again, if you're still having issues, go ahead and email the help desk, because unfortunately, there's nothing really I can do on my end to get you Microsoft Office and Excel like you need for the course. To do all this stuff, you're supposed to be provided it. Every college in the country provides this for free to their students. Most even provide it, for life to their alumni. But again, if you missed the first homework, because you don't have that, go ahead and email me and let me know as a reminder. Okay, you sign in there, Mecca. So everybody sees this, Microsoft.com education/students. Thank you, Mecca. All right, so I will open it up to questions then. Maybe I went too fast. Somebody wants me to repeat a formula or something. No questions. Okay, then like I said, I will upload onto YouTube the recording for today's class and pop it right below here. make sure that you go ahead and do this restaurant homework by Sunday night. Like I said, you can ignore the absolute cell reference stuff and you can ignore the do not use the and function because, like I showed you, we just used an if and as a workaround for that. And like I showed you, you literally just kind of highlight this area, A14 through N18, from the in class example and copy it into the restaurant file for the homework. And you should be good to go once you save it. So tonight's homework is fairly simple. If you followed along with what we did in class, right? And like I said, next week's classes are going to be a little longer because, like I said, we're going to be doing the make or buy analysis and the VLOOKUP on Monday, and the apartment calculator on Wednesday is a little more advanced. Um, so both classes next week will probably be a little longer than the 30 somewhat odd minutes we went today. So keep that in mind. So one last opportunity for questions today. I'll open it up. Again, I'll show that link that Mecca provided. If you haven't registered or signed up or gotten your provided free access to Microsoft Office for Excel, again, with the homework, make sure submit it as an Excel file with the formulas in it so you don't lose points. And again, those of you that did not submit the first one, make sure to get that to me ASAP. All right, so if there are no questions, enjoy your rest of your day and your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Excuse me, I have a quick question.
Okay,
Is it do we have two homework for this week or is it only one?
it's only one every week. So
Okay.
basically, what we're going to do is like exercises in class. Most of the weeks, whatever one we do on Wednesday is going to help you with the homework that week. Next week, the muffins we do on Monday is going to help you do the homework. Because, like I said, the one we're going to do on Wednesday, the apartment, takes a little longer. So I figured we could do that on Wednesday.
So what about the model of the cycle work that we did on Monday? So
So
what was
that
that
is
about?
basically the way I'm doing this is all like tutorial based
Okay.
to prepare you for the midterm because you're going to basically be given a word problem, more or less. And you're
Okay.
going to basically have to go back and look through all the stuff we're doing to find formulas you can use and everything. And when we do the midterm review, you'll basically see, like, oh my God, look at all these formulas we learned. And you're going to want to look through all these different things we did to kind of pull them up. Like, oh, okay, we did this ifs on this day. We did this if and on this day. Now I can use that. And that's why I
So
have all these videos posted of me kind of doing them. So even if you didn't do them in class, just watch the short video rather than the full lecture recording and go back and do them. So you have it done as quote unquote notes for when you do the midterm exam.
okay, thank you. Say like for example, you doing a home you doing a homework we don't understand. Can we email you or
So the homework you're going to upload up onto Blackboard.
okay?
So each one of the homeworks has so like Excel homework 2 is on the bottom of this week's folder and you just upload it click on Excel homework 2 and upload it right into there on Blackboard. So once you do download that restaurant file and fix it up, like I just showed you guys today,
Okay.
you'd submit that. Like I
Okay.
said, the motorcycle one, you're just going to complete that to have it for your notes. Because, like I said, the midterm, you're going to have open notes and you're going to refer back to all this stuff that we're doing just so you, oh, okay, I need to use this formula for this answer.
Okay. I did the first homework. I don't know if I did it right, but when you gonna grade it?
So I graded the first
Oh,
homeworks
oh, okay,
yesterday.
okay, okay, okay.
Um,
I see. Okay,
so
okay.
let's see here. Valens.
Yeah, I just checked it.
Yeah, you got a 50 out of 50. So you did good.
Okay, thank you. So you know how last semester, if you had like a A or above, because I was in business math and stuff, and if you had like a A or above, you would have to take the final exam. Is it gonna be the same thing for the Excel spreadsheet or no?
So for this final, literally, it's going to be the same thing as
Okay,
the final review. All you guys are going to do is create two message boxes using Excel VBA. So
okay.
literally, it should be the easiest thing in the world for you guys to do. Literally, just watch the recording of me doing it. Like I said, in this class, literally the only difficult thing is going to be the midterm.
Okay. So the midterm is gonna be a little bit difficult, and the final exam and the group project should be the easiest then.
Yes, so I forget which one it is. On the 14th or the 19th of February, we're going to do all three of the exercises for the group project.
Okay.
And then you and your other two group members just meet up, decide who's going to do each of the exercises, and then you're just going to prepare a 10-minute talk. And that's all the presentation is the last day in the last class.
Is the presentation gonna be on Zoom or are you gonna come in person?
No, it'll be on Zoom. So
Okay. Okay, thank you.
no
Have a
problem.
good day.
You too. Thanks.
Okay.
Philip, any questions? No? All right.